I'm working with the idea that everything begins in the consciousness, everything happening in the body, everything happening in the person's life begins with something happening in their consciousness. So we're each in here and we're looking what's happening around us, and we decide to respond in a certain way. We choose what to think, what to feel, and our decisions might leave us with stress, or they might leave us in balance. And if they leave us with stress, if that tension reaches a certain intensity, we create a symptom, and the symptom speaks a language. And for me, it's reflecting the idea that we each create our reality. So any physical symptom is just a level of communication from the person's higher self about how they really feel about what's going on. And it seemed to me when I was, maybe 8 years old, I looked around and was looking at life and death, and people died. It was part of life, and about a week later, it was like the person was never there. It was like they were just gone, and life went on. And I thought that seemed to be such a waste. And what made more sense to me, when I'm going to leave this plane of existence, I want to leave something behind that says I was here. I want to leave behind a positive contribution. I also had some other feelings about the spiritual path. Again, when I was having an operation in 1975 that was supposed to remove the tumor, I went through the tunnel that people talk about, and I came back different. And up until that point, I was agnostic. I believed in nothing. Show me, prove me, because I don't believe anything. And so I was totally unprepared for what I experienced. And but it showed me the nature of who we are, and I looked at this. How come I never knew what was going to happen? How come I didn't learn anything about this? And I thought I should. And I took a look at people's relationship with religion, and how many people were trying to fit themselves into the rules of religion rather than being real, rather than being in touch with their real values and who they are. And it seemed to me that your spiritual path is the path of your spirit. It's not to change yourself. It's not to fit into some model of what you should be, but rather to look around out there and ask yourself, who out there is describing my way of being? That's my path. That's who I am. I shouldn't have to fit myself into anything. If we take a look at what we consider the models of spiritual evolution, if we take a look at a Buddha, a Jesus, anybody, none of them are trying to be somebody they're not. They're fully accepting their individuality. They're fully accepting who they are, whether or not the people around them understand that or agree with it or whatever. But that's who they are. And that ultimately is what we respect about them, that they are fully themselves. So I decided for myself, I don't want to fit myself into some model of what somebody else thinks I should be. I have to totally be me, and I think that's what makes sense. The spiritual nature of who we are, really, beyond what religion teaches us, because I think there's a shortcoming there that I think religion should teach us about the nature of who we are and what happens when we die, and most of them don't do that. They give us rules, and if we follow the rules, we're good. And we don't follow the rules, we're going to go to hell, or we're bad people, or stuff like that. But I think a spiritual path should put us in touch with who we are as a spirit. You look around out there and see who is describing your natural way of being, who you are. If you just landed on this planet and you knew nothing, and you had no idea, no rules, and all you had to go by was do what you feel and do what feels right for you, and do what feels like it's a good thing to do. You know, if that was all you had to go by, and you do that, then you'd be living a good life. And for me, that's what makes the most sense.